All right. Who up in here? Say something. Say something. Welcome. It's gonna wait a little while longer for some more people to come in. Um, yes. About to talk all things Toll Booth, all things episode 301. That's the third season, first episode of the third season. Um, Let me know if you watched it. If you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend you watch it before joining because there may be some spoilers discussed. But if you've watched it, let me know. Give me a yay or nay. Let me know if you're out there. Let me know if you've seen it yet, what you thought of it. Cool. We're just gonna wait a little while longer for individuals to hop on so that we can begin. All right. Um, okay. Well, we won't get started. I just wanted to let you guys know that this particular season, we are taking the show to somewhere it has never been before. But I highly recommend that if you're available, that's the best way. Let people know that you're here. The goal is to really try to get more people involved with the show, get more people looking at the show, just try to build it from last year. So that's just important that you guys are, about being on Toll Booth, knowing about Toll Booth, and letting your friends, family, your play brothers know about Toll Booth as well. So for those who are here, what did y'all think about the show? I want to hear from you. Any questions? What do you guys think overall about the show today? Anything? Just make sure that you just let me know in the comments section. Ultimately, what this was about was really an opportunity for us to slowly but surely get you up to speed as to where we came from on season 2. That's why you might have noticed that we wanted to start off a little bit slower this year on episode 1, just to get you reacclimated to the universe that you left, because we were actually been going a year and a half. Normally we come back on every summer, every fall. We skipped the entire fall this year and didn't start putting on episodes until just now in the spring, which is different for us. So that was a little bit of a change. So it was important that only that we do like the opening where we kind of gave you an up-to-date look as to where the show was last year, but also to get you slowly or surely reacclimated to the characters. The biggest jaw-dropping moment, at least for me, some people have some people have their favorites. Some people have the whole, Tamara found in the basement moment as their favorite moment. Some people have Elise firing Kim and her reaction to that. But for me, as the writer of the show for that particular episode, the biggest moment for me was when Justine finally came face to face with her father, and that buildup. We kept going back and forth between learning a little bit more about Darren and learning a little bit more about Justine's want to have a connection with a man that, not holding nothing back, raped her mom. So for me, when she finally tells Darren that I'm your daughter, and his look, in the script, it actually reads, Darren gives an oh shit face to Justine. And Rick Germain, the actor who plays Darren, I believe he nailed that scene. He nailed that moment because when you look at his face, we actually screened it in Baltimore for the Baltimore Web Fest, and it was such a legit feeling. Like you go in your whole life, and then you find this 30-something-year-old woman knocking on your door saying, you my daddy. It is so funny, and his look was priceless. We fade to black on that. So we get that moment, and then we definitely felt, well, I felt that it was important for us to pick right back up to, so what happened next? Because when I watch it, that particular scene as the final scene of season 2, my immediate reaction when watching it was, okay, what happened next? So that's why the first line of season 3 is what happened then? Because to me, it encompasses what I know a lot of people were feeling when Justine says, I'm your daughter. And Darren just gives that look of, oh crap, like what the hell? I might be her daddy. So that's why we started off there. And we wanted to then build this. It was always the goal to have the Caldwells versus the Kellys. And it was important to start that from the beginning. And Justine doesn't seem to get along with any of her siblings, white nor black, because she has a hard time getting along with Maya and apparently a hard time getting along with Tess in the very beginning. We learn a little bit more why Tess is so protective of her dad. Clearly, she's coming in there, Miss Lawyer, coming in the building, wanting to know, is Justine wanting money? And why is a reason on why there has to be a reason on why this woman is doing this? It can't be because her father did anything wrong. And it's known that the reason why, we find out, a little bit later, but it's ultimately they got a divorce. But it's clearly that he has not been the best husband. So it is funny to me that, not funny, but kind of true to life, how if you're a daddy's girl, your daddy can do pretty much anything. And there's still a part of you that will still forgive him and go to bat for him. And that is the relationship that Tess and her father have. So that's why we have that whole, like, she is really trying to defend her father, saying, don't talk to him. If you want to talk to anybody, you talk to me. So that's good. It was also good to see Ron and Justine back together again. When we first introduced Ron's character, I think there's a key moment last year when he discussed with Justine that she's like the sister that he never wanted. They truly have built this bond with each other. And it's important, for me, I don't see it romantic. I really do see it as just two people who get each other and are there for one another, a true family. And it's funny, and we're playing it very subtle because I don't believe in when you write that you should put it all in the audience's face. Let the audience come up with their own thought process. Let the audience come up with their own idea as to what is going on in the scene. So I wanted it to be something where the audience can see, wow, it's funny. Justine is searching for where she belongs, but clearly with Ron, she belongs there. She has a family unit with Ron, and it's like that's all that's important. But she's consistently trying to chase to be accepted by her mother, compare herself to Maya, and here she's in a situation where this man even knows how he likes her coffee. 2 sugars, 1 cream. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted, I wanted to be very subtle that she's looking for something that she already has. It's the typical, Wizard of Oz thing that a lot of writers play around with, where the thing you're looking for, you've had all along. And I hope that Justine really does realize that before it's too late. But I thought that was very funny. She wanted to, she wants to learn where she belongs, but she belongs with Ron. And those two characters, those two actors, Jay Seymour and Kevin Tan, perfect chemistry with each other. I love how they've been playing off of each other thus far in this season. And as time goes on, I'm looking for them to continue to grow and really become a staple on the show. So that was fun. It was definitely fun on that. So then we get back to Next Generation Realty, and we see that Elise is back to her old tricks with trying to control Jackson. And it must be tough because Jackson, when the old owner owned Next Generation Realty, when it was called Tim McMillan Construction, Jackson was like the big guy on campus. He was the one running the show. Tim had his old boss had very little hands-on when it came to the company. And now we're in season 3, and you've seen that just how things have changed in just a short period of time. She's redecorated. She's put her own staple on Next Generation Realty. It is now no longer the Tim and Jackson company. It is now solely Elise's show, and she is running things. And Jackson is just torn up about it. He lost his biggest supporter in Kim, someone that he was just starting to get along with Walker, and all because he really couldn't stand up to Elise. And so he's getting that. And at first he's thinking, okay, business as usual. I'm just going to move on, try to get along with this woman the best I can. But when she talks about Kim entry-level position and talks about Walker being a handyman, I think in that moment it really played for Jackson just how far he has fallen when it's come to defending the people that he loves and he cares about. So it's really funny. And a lot of times, even in life, we sometimes have a hard time defending ourselves. But when you mess with somebody that we love or that we care about, we're quicker to go ahead and really speak up and fight against that. And that, I truly believe, is what gave Jackson the courage to quit and to lead Next Generation Realty. Whether he thought about what his next plan was going to be, that I don't know. But that's what it is. I think so too, Alan. It's a possibility that he was thinking about it, but there was something, that was keeping him from pulling the trigger. I think almost he was hoping, what I believe, looking into listening to the character psyche a little bit. Jackson was almost hoping that Elise would fire him. Because when you open up the scene, you've got him looking in the computer, late for a meeting, something that, Jackson would never be late for an important business meeting to land a deal. Jackson was about business. He was about, the end game. So the fact that we now see Jackson playing computer games or surfing the internet when he's already late for a meeting, that says a lot. Most likely, you're right. He was probably already wanting to leave, but it took that straight up insult about Walker and Kim for him to realize, okay, that's my out. I may not have been able to pull that trigger for me, but I'm definitely going to do it now that you're coming after my friends here. So that was a good moment for Jackson. So I hope a lot of the people who are hard on Jackson see that moment and realize that Jackson is redeemable. He can do the right thing when the right thing is needed. So I thought that was a good moment and a much needed moment for Jackson, coming off of just how disappointing he was in season 2 from a moral standpoint. Looking forward to see what. Yeah, Jackson and Elise's relationship. You have not seen the end of that. I think that was one of the most important parts of what we created in season 2 was that the Jackson Elise storyline definitely brought in more of an audience, and it also was just exciting. I mean, who doesn't want to have a good sparring with a bad boss, right? So we're going to see more of that as the season progresses, a lot more. So there's a lot more to happen between Jackson and Elise, stuff that you probably wouldn't expect, but you are going to be in for a treat as the season progresses and Jackson goes to the next phase of his journey. We will definitely see what's going on. So here is also what we're going on. Let's take a look at. Okay, so after that, we had what was the next piece? It was Elise, right? So Elise, not Elise, Maya. Yeah, Maya and Reese. So the next scene we went to was about Maya and Reese. And Maya definitely in some type of, someone asked me earlier, was she in a trance? Was she, daydreaming? I'm not exactly sure. Uh, she's definitely reminiscing. Of course, I know where it's headed, but I don't want to give too much away. But for in that scene, we definitely know that something is surfacing in Maya's life. I believe the description was her past has come back to haunt her. And we begin to see that in that particular scene when she is looking off into space, and then we're dropped a little bit of a nugget that she's asking, the nurse is asking, or the doctor is asking, can I contact anyone, the child's father? So we know something is up, but whose is it? What child are we referring to? And of course, we always want to take the audience this way and then drag them, to the other end. So it can't be what you think it is, and it's probably not, because I know what I thought it was probably, referring to, but it's not. So you want to make sure that you continue to watch the storyline. And like I said on another live chat the other day, we have been slowly dropping these breadcrumbs as it pertains to the Maya character from season 1, which the synopsis of season 1 is available currently on YouTube as well on our page. And there is that story that we're finally going to start to reveal as things go along. And then the final scene, we've got Karen. We left Karen in a bad place as she begins to get sick, and we see her throw up in the toilet, the blood. From a creative standpoint, I've always wanted to do a scene like that. I've come very close on several different projects, but never was able to do that. So I was really excited. I was able to do the whole blood throwing up scene. It's the small things in life when it comes to a creative. So that's one of the things I've always wanted to do. And so I was really proud of that particular scene. Played very well. Lydia Washington, she did a phenomenal job in the role as Karen. And that was, to me, a very important scene of the show there. So yeah, and very scary, just for the simple fact, that was not what we expected, but we wanted to shock people. So that is the episode 3. So or episode 1, season 3. I'm loving the feedback so far. Please encourage your friends, your family, anyone that you know, to hop on to our page here. This is the page, Tollbooth the series. Hop on here, become a subscriber to the page, and start following it. Like the episodes, comment, all that good stuff. Engage. If you're an independent filmmaker, one of the most important things about this is to ensure that you get a lot of feedback from the audience. That's the best way we can survive here. Okay. All right. So again, I'm Derek Lewis Gray. I am the writer and director of Tollbooth, the series, season 3. And I will see you next week. We're going to do this. I'm going to be hopping over to IG. So if you know anybody on IG, let them know. I'll be hopping over there in a second to do another one of these beautiful live chats, and then over to Facebook. Okay. So, but I will see you all next week on Tollbooth the series, the after show, after party. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.